Welcome to episode number 2 with Saikou. The series will all be talking about the songs and experiences I've had playing through them in the game Dance Dance Revolution, currently on the Ace or the Ace 20 cabinet. So a small improvement from the first episode. Down here on the bottom right hand side, as you see it on the screen, you'll be able to see what song I'm talking about if you haven't surmised it from the title. So just like in Super Samurai episode 1, you should watch that if you haven't already. This time I'll be talking about another 170 BPM song, another 15 called Xephyr'd. So my history with Xephyr'd goes back way years before I ever played Super Samurai. And now that I think about it, same BPM, same rough challenge. It's probably why I like this song as well. So the first thing to consider is that the first time I played Xephyr'd, it was on the 13, but it wasn't the 13 yet. So when I first played Xephyr'd, it was on DDR Supernova on the PS2. Now, I don't actually know how my family got a PS2, because a famous thing in my family, I'm the oldest of several kids, and the famous thing for us when we were growing up, my family and I, is that we would always be a couple console generations back, roughly 1.5 back. So I got a DS Micro, a Game Boy Micro SP. If you remember, the little tiny thing looks about this big, right? And that's actual size. Like a Cheez-It on a cracker box is the actual size. It is about this big. That may even be too long lengthwise. I got that around the time, I think, like not the Xbox, but like the PS2 had come out, something like that. Like the DS was coming out by the time that I got that. So to give you an idea, so I don't know how I got a PS2, or how I got this game, DDR Supernova, or how I got the plastic pads that came with it. Yes, even now I don't own the nice fancy setup with my own bar and the arrow, I can play at home, and I live in an apartment complex, so how would that work anyways? But at the time, I just had these plastic pads, and the game room that I played, all of my siblings and I would play on the PS2 and our other consoles on, was upstairs. Well, you can't play DDR if you're upstairs, especially since the game room that we played in like drill a hole through the ceilings, like Gurren Lagann punched the ceiling. You go through the top of it or the bottom of the game room, and up from the previous floor was the living room with the nice TV where my parents were watching the TV or guests were being entertained. And I'm playing DDR and thumping. No, you can't do that, right? So what I would do, both of my parents worked. Aha, they work. And so I get back from school before they get back from work. So what do? Galaxy brain thought, right? Move the end tables and all of the furniture and whatnot. Take down the PS2 from the game room, plug it up into the nice television, set up all of the pads, and then play on that giant screen, which is the only way that I got to play a lot. And I remember feeding back into Xephyr'd that this song was impossible. It wasn't yet the 13. I think it was like the Xephyr'd 8 or 9, the one step below, because I think at that time there still was a challenge, which almost note for note became the 15 here. And I just played the one step below challenge, whether it was heavy or expert. I played it a lot, loved the song. First off, vocals of the song sound great. I'll get into that later. And the lyrics, didn't need to know them because everything sounded great. And the graphics and the way it looks in the background, excellent. Didn't need to know any of that to enjoy the song. It's just a lot of fun. So going back to the story. So I would go downstairs and move everything for this PS2. We're now in the PS3 era, and I've still got this PS2, and I have these plastic pads. There's no bar. There's nothing approaching bar height, and besides, I wouldn't use the bar. No, never. No. It's too good for the bar. And so I would play on these plastic pads. And if you've ever been on plastic pads before, one of a couple of things happen. One, you ruin your first set of plastic pads because you're not wearing socks All right, well, there's the first pad gone. No, sorry about that. Tiny rip means it's done. It's finished because the rip just gets bigger and bigger and that pad's ruined. And the second thing that happens is, what kind of floor are you playing on? I hope you're not playing like I was on carpet. Have you ever had bad form on a PS2 plastic pad and played on carpet? Maybe you've been to conventions or you've seen this. It seems less likely now, but at the time, even that was rare. And so here's the experience playing Zephyr on this plastic pad on the carpet, all right? So you're like, all right, here's the pad, here's my arrows, you know, Konami code, up, down, left, right, vice versa, because it's video. You know what I mean. Here's the pad. You're like, all right, let's go. You start playing. The pad starts moving. It starts moving back and to the left. So I'm looking at the screen. I'm ready. I'm playing Zephyr. Life is good. And then all of a sudden, I'm sliding away. I'm sliding away. I'm still trying to hit it. I'm still trying to get into the song. I'm just sliding away the entire time. And that was on what later became the 13. And so I made a deal with myself because at the time, I didn't know about Max or any of these other crazy red songs, right? And I didn't really have an excuse for not playing them. Just didn't. I didn't know that other people still played DDR. I didn't have a lot of spending money, and I didn't like the idea of driving, and I didn't have many friends. So I did want to go drive out and go find arcades and other people and play with them. Oh, no. So it was just kind of me by myself playing DDR. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm not a quitter. I'm not quitting this game until I can at least pass the hardest difficulty, Zephyr. Now, first off, that obviously failed. The whole I won't play anymore afterwards because look at this series. But I thought, you know, that's what I'm going to do. And it was so difficult. First off, you have these but-up, jump, but-up, jump at the beginning, which when I was younger, what's timing? Just hit them like they're normal arrows. Da. Oh no, that doesn't work. I'm sorry. You were supposed to jump on that fourth note because you're now so far behind. And I was getting like a good combo in the first like 3 notes because I didn't know how to hit anything. It was so ridiculous. And then, of course, you don't have a bar, so there's no stabilizing. And so as you're going, ba-da, every time I would jump and go, bah, I would just feel the bah of the jump. But for some reason, I would then land on the pad in such a way that I would hit it with my left foot and just start sliding the pad over. So just imagine all of the jumps in the video they're following, or just go watch the step chart for Zephyr 15, and just imagine that the pad slides to the left every time that you're playing. And then also, what's crazy about this song to me is that after you do the first part, I'm feeling stupid. This is so bad. So after those, you know, all of those things, the middle section, and almost anyone can attest to this, beginning middle section of Zephyr 15 is this, or challenge, is the same thing as Zephyr 13 or Heavy Expert, whatever it is in Supernova. It's the same. And so I actually got to a point where that wasn't the part of the song that was killing me. It would happen later. So initially, as the pad's sliding away like this, I would use that section to like hit the notes with my hands as I move the pad back where it needs to go so I could keep playing the song. And then, you know, it would go through the normal section and it would be fine. And then it would get to the end, but not yet. Because first it has that stupid thing where you have to hold the arrow and smack left, and then you have to hold the arrow and smack right. And I just never, always drops whatever good feeling I had with my like 100 out of 120 notes being good combo, just gone immediately on that section, just finished. And then it would get to the end, and oh, the world is not ready. Like, hell is filled with Zephyr 15 on that sliding pad when you can't adjust anything and the TV screen is just like, no, just sliding away from you the whole time. Because if you remember, or as you'll see, when you play that section, you don't get a break. You just, even when you land on the jump and go da 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 da, you immediately have to go to another jump, go da 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 da. And at the time, I mean, what's a yellow arrow? I don't know how to hit those. And so just hit them with normal timing. And so the ending would just be a complete mess. Now, I don't know why this was the stand that I was going to like have, or the hill I was going to die on. But I remember thinking that Zephyr was just such a cool song. And so I just remember the first couple of times I played it and thinking it was cool because I like female vocalists. I think that's cool. For instance, I like The Phantom of the Opera by Nightwish. I just like the way that it hears. At the time, I think I had just heard of Lorena McKennitt, so I was just rapid pressing the repeat button on Mummer's Dance and songs like that. I just thought they sounded really cool. And much like some of those vocalists, there is a sense of a chilling wispiness to all of the lyrics that are going on in Zephyr. And then, I mean, that's not even what really sold me. What really sold me is, did you see the background? There's this Kratos, like Tales of Symphonia Kratos looking guy in a hexagram or a heptagon or something like that, like a septahedron, something like that in Magic. And then there's this girl who looks like Hatsune Miku, except not, with slightly blander, whiter looking hair, and she's got like this drapery thing going on that she's wearing that definitely doesn't follow the laws of physics or of clothing, and she's just sitting, someone else is on a mountaintop. And at the time, all these graphics were amazing to me because I thought, I can draw, but I would be so happy if I could ever draw as well as this. And so there was a bit of wish fulfillment going on in there, and then the lyrics, and then something. Super Samurai went well with the song. The notes went well with the song and took me on that journey. Meanwhile, I felt like I was just getting mocked constantly by this song because there's the wispy, ethereal nature of everything going on, and the background looks so cool, and the wish fulfillment, and meanwhile, I'm sliding. I'm like trying to fix the pad and slam arrows with my hands so that I can get back over there. Like, it's absolutely insanity. I've got the pressure in my mind that, oh no, it's my parents are going to be home soon and I can't be playing this song, but I really want to pass this song. And of course, more often than not, they'd come back and like, I haven't put away the PS2. They see me play. Have chores been done? No, not really. And then one day, it happened. It just happened. And it's not like I had a shocking sense of, oh my gosh, I did it, mind expansion. It just happened. I got the beginning section and it wasn't too bad, and for whatever reason, I didn't have to move the pad that much. I didn't even think to get off of the pad to move it, even though by this point it's almost muscle memory for the 15, 10 at the time on Supernova, I do believe, maybe a 9. And the ending section happened, and I was wearing socks, and I just hit, for some reason, the the but-up came into my mind as, oh, that's what my feet are supposed to do. And I don't know why it took so long, but once I finished, I just look, and the score was a C+, in that awful purplish color that tells you you almost failed. Like, your grade's being really inflated right now. You almost failed. Don't feel proud of this. And it's not like I was looking at the sliding thing, on the score of like, perfect, great, good. No, my diagram looked like perfect, great, good. It's like over here. That's how many goods there were. But I didn't care. It was done. And I couldn't believe, now thinking back on it, thinking on how important DDR is to me, I can't believe I did this. But I actually just stopped playing the game. I just didn't play anymore. And I wouldn't discover the song or that DDR was played again. It wouldn't enter my mind until I ended up going to Japan in roughly 2015, some 8, 9, maybe 10 years later. I want to say 8 or 9 years later. And so Xephyr'd means a lot to me. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's only fitting that this is the second song that I do for this series, and watch me kill it.